traditions with the signs throughout the town. One of the changes that we really didn't enforce, the political sign that you can put in a residential zone requires no permit. However, our ordinance says that it could be a maximum of 4 square feet, and it has to be set back a minimum of 15 feet from the front property line. There is not one sign that was put in the residential zones that complied with that requirement. So obviously that's a change that we have to make. We can't accept that. I mean, that's ridiculous. The idea is to keep it off of town right-of-way property, put it on the private property, but not 15 feet back. We put it in the streets. And other parts of the sign we're going to review too, especially our famous A-frame signs. We see more and more of those going up. The banana-type signs, it's been a headache. Prior to going to the different establishments that have these signs that are prohibited, like the A-frame signs, Dave and I are prepared to send out a nice letter first, reminding them and showing them a copy of the ordinance that regulates those type signs. And then after that, go out and do inspections and send a little bit stronger letter out that they can't do it. So that's coming up.
It's a little off the subject, but it's on signs. The building on the corner of Franklin Avenue and State Street, it has signs for each of the businesses, and it now has for lease signs up. I mean, there's more signs in that building than there were on Chestnut and Passaic. It looks a lot of them there.
Is that the one that crosses the Carvel?
No.
Staker.
Oh, Staker, that's the name, yeah.
I don't know, there's a cleaners there, there's a...
Yeah, we're familiar with that.
And then I think it has 3 for lease signs, kind of interspersed with the other signs. It looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, we'll look into that. When a new business opens up, like an example, the one up on East Passaic Avenue, the 7-Eleven store, they just completed, they got a CFO to open, and temporarily they want to put up open sign. So we allow them to put up a sign that's a little bit larger than the code requires for opening a new business. We give them a time, like 15 days, and we do allow that to help those people. It's a temporary type sign. So
Pat, do you think we should change the ordinance to specifically allow for that? Grand opening type signs?
that's one of our suggestions.
Oh, okay.
And then we're looking at the entire zoning ordinance, because from our last change that we did was last year, and going over it again, we're finding little items here and there that are in conflict with each other. So Dave and I are going through the entire ordinance again to pick up, and they're minor changes, but to pick up those little minor changes so we make the thing complete. So I guess last but least is on East Center Street, the temporary zone, that's when, I don't know when that expires. The temporary change is on.
Well, I don't think there was an expiration date, but I think that the idea was we were going to go with the study, which we have done. We were looking to come up with an idea to make some other changes with respect to that whole area. And I know that we've had reports and we decided, the board decided to table it for a period of time, see what's happening with the Roche property first. Because the idea was what happens on the Roche property may make irrelevant or unnecessary some of the changes down there, or they give you some ideas that they're not doing there, they can do on the Center Street to make it its own kind of neighborhood. So that, the idea was kind of put on hold until.
The reason why I say that, there are some fairly large structures that are sale. And there's nothing that we can do to tell them, you know, what the future lies for East Center Street. And as far as off the Roche, 2 weeks ago, Dave and I took a tour through Roche with one of the employees. They have a lot of work. And they're sucking bad air out of the ground throughout all the parking lot areas. In our estimation, they will be ready for at least 2 years. You know, with the exception of building 123 and 123 Annex, which is supposed to have for the school for nurses and doctors. But the remainder of the plant, believe me, they have piping throughout that entire plant. And they don't expect to be done either for at least 2 years.
Is that because they have to change the physical plan? Is that the idea? When you say they have all, is that because the physical plan has to be updated and changes made? You said there's issues with the remaining buildings?
No,
What's the cleaner part of
cleanup.
Oh,
You're saying sucking air from where? What do they do?
They treat it, then they leave it out. They blow it towards up and the wind blowing this way. They've been treating the ground for, what, 2-3 years. The amount of soil that they remove is astronomical. On the north side of Kingsley, that's just about cleaned up. They're just about done there, as they told us. They haven't subdivided that piece out yet, but that would be the next step that they would have to do in order to sell it to a developer. It was part of their environmental control station. They have all these tanks on the ground. They're there. They're located on that site. And all the sewer and water comes from the roads into that area, and then it gets dispersed. So that would have to be subdivided out of that big, large piece that still remains.
So your opinion is you're at least 2 years away from that?
On that side, on the main campus, on the south side of Kingsley, I'm sorry, on the north side of Kingsley, this could be at least 2 years.
But the present buildings that are up, they can be occupied.
Yes, it can, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have met with the contractor for a year. We did meet with them, we went to the site, and we talked about what was required. Haven't been back since. There's obviously some problem there. So, other than that, I don't know where we can start. Those are a list of some of the items that we would like to discuss and to review to try and get our orders acted on the way it should be. Okay, good.